It really is a distinct pleasure. I thought this was our 16th conference, but Tim Jackson at the back there told me just now that in fact it's our 17th event. So Tim, who's been to every single one of these, has corrected me. Tim, thank you for doing that. So this is our 17th annual luxury conference. And thank you very much for joining us for what I am sure is going to be a very valuable couple of days. When we conceived this event in the dark shadows of September 11, 2001, we did so with the belief that there was a need for a forum of discussion for leaders in the luxury industries to grapple with the shifting geopolitical plate tectonics and help decipher what the impacts might be on their ever more global businesses. I recall very well back then people questioning the purpose and the validity of a conference on the luxury sector, intimating that it was frivolous. What was a serious journal doing writing about the sector, let alone convening conferences about it? Well, the industry is a vital component of the global economy. It employs millions of people and is literally part of the fabric of lives, and as such should come under the same rigorous scrutiny, without fear or favor scrutiny, that is, that we apply to any other industry or sector. And certainly our commitment to covering you and your industry is, if anything, deepening. As we expand our global coverage and our international ambitions. Last year, we reported from over 160 countries around the world. And we grew the number of our bureaus around the world to over 30. And the evidence suggests that in today's hyper-connected global economy, there is a growing community of people that are eager to consume our rigorous, deeply reported, without fear or favor journalism, especially in a world where uncensored coverage is an increasingly rare commodity in so many countries around the world. Only 13% of the world's population, that's 13%, is truly exposed to a free media. That is a number that has been declining for the last 13 years. So over the last 13 years, we've got to a stage where only 13% of the world's population is exposed to a truly free press. The evidence for us that our policy of asking people to pay for our journalism is working. Last year, or now as of the last quarter, we have 2.5 million digital subscribers, just under 2.5 million digital subscribers. And that subscriber base is growing, I'm pleased to say, exponentially outside of the United States, as our commitment to the 132 million readers that visit our site every month is to keep investing in international reporting and covering the things that are relevant and important to their lives, and that certainly includes every facet of the $250 billion luxury industry. We also intend to keep bringing the same standards of journalism you expect in our print editions and across our digital platforms to the stage in live events. As such, over the course of this gathering, Vanessa, Elizabeth, Hanya, and Steve Erlanger have mixed a wide, enriching cocktail of topics, including new innovations in today's market, the rise of the millennial as a consumer player, and of course, how impactful the luxury market will be in the months and years to come. I would like to give a very special thanks to Michel Dyens, our principal sponsor, along with the conference sponsors Moët Hennessy, Strategy Delaveau, ESSEC Business School, Agility Research, and the Hotel Brussels, and Lavazza, for their generous support of this event. It is their support that allows us to bring this to life. Now, since joining the New York Times in 2014, Vanessa, our Vanessa Friedman, I say now our Vanessa Friedman, has elevated our fashion pages, our style coverage, and our reporting as a whole. From her runway commentary, from the fashion weeks of New York, London, Milan, and Paris, to her take on how the fashion choices of world leaders dictate the messages they attempt to convey to their constituents, her voice, insight, and breadth of knowledge bring a distinct authority to our fashion coverage. I read her piece just a few days ago on the Costume Institute takes on Catholicism, reviewing the Met's blockbuster exhibition of garments inspired by Catholic iconography. It was really a masterful piece, and for me, it was a really wonderful reminder of what a masterful writer she is. Please read it if you haven't. Vanessa has been a central figure in the development of our conference program and has been insistent and instrumental in ensuring that the event focuses on what the Times does best, which is helping connecting the dots in this turbulent world and adding real intellectual value to the events of our world so that we can understand it and add value in your business decision making. The speakers that Vanessa has sought out and the topics and issues she has asked them to address are meant to provoke and spark dialogue, and I'm sure they're going to do just that. And I encourage you to join in today's conversation by following us on Twitter and Instagram at NYT Live. Please post to your heart's content using the hashtag NYT Luxury. So with that, I'm going to shut up, and I wish you a wonderful conference, and I would like to invite Vanessa to the stage. Thank you.
This is a really long sort of runway we got going here. Thank you, Stephen. That was a somewhat intimidating introduction. I feel like I have a lot to live up to now. But it is a real pleasure for both myself and all my editorial colleagues to be here with all of you in the heart of the great European experiment. An experiment that we can probably agree could be politely characterized as entering a new stage. You know, last night at the party, a lot of people came up to me and said, "We're really happy to be here with you, but why Brussels?" You know, and that's the answer. You know, this is a city that symbolizes an idea that's in flux, the same way that so many of our ideas and this industry is in flux, buffeted by events and forces that no one ever really anticipated. I mean, did you read the newspaper this morning? Raise your hands. Oh, come on, you guys. Like, really, it was free. You know, what struck you? You can share. This is an interactive conference. I'm just like telling you, this is the warm-up. It's going to get worse. There was a big earthquake in Iran. There are nationalist marches in Warsaw. The NSA still can't get over its security breach. Personally, I cannot get over the short and fat comment. You know, but what about you? Maybe you're stuck in Catalonia, and you know what's going to happen in Spain, and whether the secessionist dominoes are going to start to fall, or maybe it's England and Theresa May, and is she going to be able to stay in power, or maybe it's Germany, or maybe it's what's going on in the Philippines and the summit, or Silicon Valley and AR and VR and self-driving cars, or Seattle and what the hell is Amazon going to buy next, or maybe it's Twitter and you know the @MeToo hashtag, or maybe it's Burberry and who's going to get that job, or Fendi and who's going to get that job, and when is this musical chairs that's going on between corporate and creative ever going to end? There is a lot to think about. How do you balance it all? How do you decide what your priorities are and what consumer priorities are? How do you stay flexible enough to maintain your heritage while still adapting for the future when the future seems to change almost every single week? These are the questions we're going to be looking at over the next day and a half, both on stage and in the interactive sessions that are going to happen this afternoon. I'm very excited about it. I hope you're excited too. And so with no further ado, I would like to welcome my colleague, the Chief Diplomatic Correspondent of the New York Times, Stephen Erlanger, and Enrico Letta, the former Prime Minister of Italy, to the stage.